All right, Shabbat Shalom, Messiah people in the truth, and maybe even some people that may not be in the truth yet. But this is for everybody. Hey, what I thought I'd start doing was, this is what we did today with my family this morning with the kids and everything. We're actually back to Genesis 1, the creation story. So I kind of been wanting to get through the whole Torah, or at least all of Genesis, because I think Genesis is an extremely important book. So I'm trying to do something short today where I'd like to just do a reading and maybe give a little commentary, maybe to give some understanding on, and you know, and people who may not understand why we do what we do, maybe you will start to understand why we do what we do, because I'm always saying you got to go back to the beginning of the book to get the understanding. So I'm just going to dive right in. Get your favorite beverage or whatever. This is going to be a short teaching, or whatever it is you like to do, or just sit down, grab your Bible. It doesn't matter which Bible, King James, Scriptures, whatever. I'm just so everybody knows I'm reading that as a Sefer Bible. If you have a King James, definitely follow along with me in this Bible, because you're going to find that the translations aren't really that much different, other than keeping the names of the deity, keeping Hebrew names and things of that nature. But I think you'll find that these Bibles aren't really any different. But enough of that. I'm already a minute and 30 seconds in, so let me get started. And I just want to give a nice short reading of Genesis 1 all the way to Genesis 2:3. I think it's Genesis 2:3. I think it ties right in with Genesis chapter 1. But here we go. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth. Now notice in Genesis 1 is almost identical to John 1, the Gospel of John. It starts with, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made flesh. In the beginning, Yahweh created the heavens and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the earth, and the Spirit of Yahweh moved upon the face of the waters. And Yahweh said, let there be light, and there was light. And Yahweh saw that the light, it was good. And Elohim divided the light from the darkness. And Yahweh called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. And Yahweh said, let there be an expanse in the midst of the water, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And Yahweh made the expanse and divided the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it was so. And Yahweh called the expanse heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. And Elohim said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. And Elohim called the dry land earth. And the gathering together of the waters he called the sea. And Yahweh saw that it was good. And Yahweh said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, and the herb yielding seed after its kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after its kind. And Yahweh saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the third day. And Elohim said, let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, appointed feast, and for days and years. Note that the Most High, Yahweh, in the beginning, in the creation, set the sun, the moon, and the stars in the expanse, so that we would know the times for the feasts and the times for seasons and years. See, a lot of people don't understand that Yahweh has a calendar, and it's different from the calendar that we're on today, the Gregorian, the Roman calendar that we're on. That's the beast calendar. When you start coming into the truth, you start realizing that we're actually supposed to be on Yahweh's calendar. The day begins at nightfall and ends at nightfall. The night and the day was the first day. The evening and the morning were the first day. That's Yah's time. And Yah's time is based on the sun, the moon, and the stars. For times, for Moedims, which is appointed times, and for seasons and years and days and things like that, and months. So just just a little something there to be thinking about what's going on here on the fourth day. There's no human been created. There's nothing here but grass and dirt and water and things of that nature. So the plan is in motion. We're in the beginning, and he's already telling you that why he set these lights in the sky was for his appointed times. So I think that's important today while we're on the Sabbath to be doing a reading like this, because the Sabbath is an appointed time, and it's extremely important. And the importance of that day in religion has been stripped completely away. And let them be for lights in the expanse of the heavens, and give light upon the earth. And it was so. And Yahweh made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And Yahweh set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. And Yahweh said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that has life, and fowl that may fly above the earth in the expanse of the heaven. And Elohim created the great sea monsters, and every living creature that moves, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind, and every winged fowl after his kind. And Yahweh saw that it was good. And Yahweh blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters in the seas, and let fowl multiply in the earth. And the evening and the morning were the fifth day. So on the fifth day, he created the living creatures that were in the sea and the flying creatures. It's just important to note, the fifth day, that's what was created. You know, I think a lot of people don't pay attention to the creation story. They probably don't read it enough anyway. But if you really break down each day, there's an order. The Most High always works in an order. There's always an order to things, and I just think that that's interesting. And Elohim, and the reason I'm using, in most of the places where I'm saying Yahweh, the Sefer says Elohim, just so that people, if you don't know, Elohim is plural in the Hebrew. It actually means the Father, the Word, and the Ruach HaKodesh, which is what y'all call the Holy Spirit. So, and that'll give you some understanding with John 1:2 with the Word. It's in the Hebrew, it's actually the Father, the Word, and the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the same as the Father, the Son, Holy Spirit. Same but different. And Elohim said, let the earth bring forth the living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after its kind. And it was so. And Yahweh made the beast of the earth after his kind, and the cattle after their kind, and everything that creeps upon the earth after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Note what I'm saying here. You've got to understand this reads the same in the King James, and I don't even know if people even pick up on it. And Elohim said, let us make man in after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea. All right, I want to stop right there for a minute. And Elohim said, let us make man in our image. That's why I wanted to point out the Elohim part. That's why Genesis says, let us make them in our image. It's not, there's not several things there. Elohim is one. If that makes, Elohim is one is a kod in the Hebrew, and a kod can mean one, it can mean unified, or it can mean first. And there's probably some other ones there too, but the one what it's talking about, Elohim, is the unification of the Creator, the Word, which He created everything through, and the Ruach HaKodesh. I just think that that's very important, because He doesn't say, let me make them in my image. He said, right here, He said, let us make them in our image. He's meaning the plural, but we're made in the image of it, after our likeness. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth. So Elohim created man in his own image. In the image of Elohim created he him. Male and female he created he them. All right. So why is it male and female? Even though he's only created the man, he's only created one being thus far, but yet he's saying male and female. Well, what that means is the woman came out of Adam. Here in Genesis 2, he elaborates on the story. If you think about it, when a man is made and in his reproduction system, every sperm cell and everything is already there to create whatever children he's going to create. Same with the woman. She's already created in the womb with the reproductive system, and every egg that she's ever going to pass or that she's ever going to produce is already produced in her. So that's a little science for it, but what this is actually specifically saying is he's created Adam, and we know here later, everybody knows the story, so we know here later that he's going to take a rib out of Adam and create the woman. So here he has not created two beings, he's created one being, with the intent of male and female, just like he's done with everything else, or at least the beasts and the fowl of the air. He created them male and he created them female for reproduction. That's what that's for, because you can't reproduce with a man and a man. You can't reproduce woman and woman. That's why these things are abominations, but we're not getting into that today. But I think it's just important that you have to lay down from the beginning. And a lot of people don't have a good understanding, because I don't think that they really pay attention and they don't really read this. They just kind of skim over it and say, yeah, we know that that God created the heavens and the earth, but really, there's so many things that's in this 6 day creation and how things go. That's why I wanted to give just a little bit of commentary, because a lot of people don't understand it. The Most High he created Adam in his own image. But later he takes a rib and he creates the woman out of the man. That's why he called her woman, because she came out of man. But I'm getting into Genesis 2, and I'm sorry. All right. The image of Elohim, he created him. Male and female created he them. And Elohim blessed them, and Elohim said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it, which means to take it back. And have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and of every living thing that moves. And Elohim said, behold, I have given you every herb-bearing seed which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed. To you shall it be for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every fowl of the air, and to everything that creeps upon the earth wherein there is life. I have given every green herb for food, and it was so. And Elohim saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very good. And the evening and the morning were the 6th day. There's two things here. One, there's already a dietary law, because in the beginning everything was perfect. There was never an intent for animal to eat animal, and for human beings to have to kill animals to eat animals. When we were in the garden, everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. He set Adam and Eve in the garden with just to guard it and just to dress it, just to be there, and their food was already prepared for them. Obviously, they were just walking around naked, and nobody was ashamed, and they were able to just wake up, go pick that sweet and savory fruit, and just eat it, and they didn't have to work, they didn't have to till for their food, they didn't have to kill for the food. So that's where you get a lot of people saying, hey, the original diet was actually a vegan diet, or it was just a raw diet of living raw foods. Well, that's absolutely correct. But everything got messed up after the transgression. So, but that was the original intent. Number 2 in here, man was created on the 6th day. The 6th day of the week is the preparation. We go 1st day, 2nd day, 3rd day, 4th day, 5th day, preparation, Sabbath. We were created on the preparation day. Why? There's some significance there, because the Most High created us to be on just an endless Sabbath. We were created on the preparation day, and the Sabbath was going to be pretty much our first full day. We would have entered in on the Sabbath day with nothing to do but worship the Father. He would come down in the cool of the day and be with Adam and Eve. And that was the original intent. It's very important to know these things. But it's even more so important to know, you've got to know who you're worshiping. We worship the Creator of heaven and earth that's in the beginning of Genesis. And there's about to be a sign that's going to be laid down right here, because he's about to hallow a certain day that later on is going to determine who you're worshiping when you say you're worshiping someone. Because he says you can't just sit there and say you're worshiping me and then not do what I tell you to do, because I won't accept it. So let's get into 2:1. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day Elohim ended his work which he had made, and he rested the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Yahweh blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he had rested from all his work which Yahweh created and made. That's why we keep the seventh day Sabbath and not the first day of the week. You can read this Bible from here to here, and you'll never see one single commandment to change the day of rest. The seventh day Sabbath, Friday night to Saturday night. And that's why we do what we do. Now, next week, I'm going to read Genesis 2 after he hallowed the seventh day, and it's going to get deeper into the creation of the woman, and then we're going to start getting into the transgression and the disobedience. It's very, very important. Hopefully you guys will be back with me next week. I just wanted to do something kind of short and quiet, not get all up in everybody's grill about anything. And this will kind of go back to why we're, if you saw my video, Are You Jewish? This is what I'm talking about. When you go back to the beginning, where's these Jews? When these things are laid out in the creation and all these things are doing. The Sabbath day was instituted before, when there was only one man on the earth. One man. I mean, we can't start inserting religion into this Bible. The Bible says what it says. He has one people. His people keep his commandments and believe on his Son that he sent for our transgressions, where he paid our death penalty. And I'm going to get a lot more into that as we go, but that's all I'm going to do today. I've got something else coming, and I may even do it later today. When I did that Are You Jewish video, I said that I didn't know that much about Judaism. Well, I do know a lot about it, and I think I need to do a video on really where that comes from and what actual Judaism is. Yes, it's true that the Jews that people are trying to call us are actually, in Judaism, they don't believe in the Messiah. They don't. But that's just another religion that's not much different than Christianity. When the Most High says after him giving the Torah, he says, don't go to the right or don't go to the left, because if you're on a road, to the right is a ditch, to the left is a ditch. Stay on the narrow path. Stay on the narrow path. Christianity takes away from the Most High's commandments and say you don't have to do that no more, you're under grace. That's not true. They fell in the ditch on that side, on the right side. Judaism has fell in the ditch on this side because of their unbelief. They think that you're only saved by obedience, which is not true. It's not a faith that's obedience or grace, or law versus grace. The true faith in this Bible is Torah and grace. Torah and grace. That's the narrow path. Yes, we're to keep his commandments. No, we're not perfect and we can't do it perfectly. So when we stumble in the Torah, we've got an advocate with the Father. He's our high priest now. Moses couldn't be our high priest forever. But I don't want to get into all that, but I'm gonna get into that later. But hopefully this was a good introduction to the Torah. You just read the first chapter of the Torah, and that is why we keep the Sabbath day, because he only hallowed that day. And guess what? If he only hallowed that day, that makes it the Lord's day, not Sunday. Sunday's not the Lord's day. He never hallowed that day. He never told you there's only 2 things to do on that day, and they're once a year at different times. Pentecost always falls on the first day of the week, Shavuot, and the Feast of First Fruits after Passover and unleavened bread is always on the first day of the week. But those are 2 celebrations that are in Yahweh's 7 feast days. And later on, I'm going to show you something about the menorah. I wish I'd have brought it out here. I was going to show you something. There's a reason why it has 7 branches, and there's a reason why you should have one in your house, because every single bit of that points to the Messiah, and most people don't even know it because they're too caught up with this that seems Jewish thing, and it's a misunderstanding, and it's actually it's out of ignorance. And when I say ignorance, I don't mean stupidity, because ignorance is when you just don't know something. Stupidity is when you know something and you do something different anyway. So when you hear me say the word ignorant, that is not being derogatory towards anybody. Ignorant is in our vocabulary. It's actually not. It can be used as something derogatory. But when I say that someone's ignorant, I just mean they're unlearned or they don't know. I'm ignorant to a lot of things still myself. I'm still learning. I'm just a student of this Bible. I don't consider myself a teacher or a preacher. I'm just a sower of the seed. That's my calling. I know it is. Hey, if you look back here, I've got chickens, but I know you probably can't see on the other side. I've got a couple of gardens. We bought land. We kind of try to homestead. We do things like that. I've always been more of a gardener and a sower of seed and things like that. So that's my calling, and that's what I try to do. But I also try to do the best I can to get in this word and let you guys watch my growth and hopefully grow with me. That's always the hope. And I know sometimes it gets a little heated when I start talking about the religious side of things, but that's usually just because the religious side really usually starts that attack, and then when I go to talk about it, everything just kind of comes out. But that's all right. That's how we are. We're all human. We have emotions. All we can do is follow the Most High's teaching and follow His Son's teaching, because that's what His Son came down here to teach us, is how to walk the Torah out in spirit and truth, because He's the only one that made it to the right hand of the Father. And is that not where we're trying to go? So He said, follow me. So we have to follow Him to get to the right hand of the Father, to make it to the kingdom. You're not going in those gates disobedient. But I love you out there. I hope everybody's having a great day. Hopefully you're keeping the 7-day Sabbath and giving honor and glory to the Most High Yah and His Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, because without that, nothing means anything anyway. Without Yeshua HaMashiach, we can't be saved, we don't have salvation, and nothing else matters anyway. So, I love you out there. Y'all be good, and Shabbat Shalom.